Alright, what's going on, guys? In this one we're carving up a fox skull that I got just kind of down by where I work. First thing we're doing here is just looking up some skull designs, making sure I kind of have an idea of what we're looking at, what we want to see kind of when we're done with this fox skull. So getting a few ideas and then start sketching those out on some paper and then onto the skull, so I have kind of an idea of what things are supposed to be looking like. Sketching it out onto the skull wasn't too bad. I pretty much just copied exactly another version that I found online, just to kind of give myself a good idea of what I wanted instead of trying to come up with something new. You'll see a little bit later once we start actually carving, all these minuscule lines and stuff I'm carving in there ended up being just a little bit too much for me to get in there with my Dremel, but the design here turned out pretty good, I thought, and we'll see how it looks here in a second. So we're just finishing up sketching here. I really like how this design turned out. You'll see it kind of flows through here in the pictures in a second. Everything kind of flows through each design, but also a little bit individual spacing and everything, so we keep that skull together and it doesn't just fall apart. So now that we've got everything drawn on there, we're gonna take that Dremel and start popping holes in it. This Dremel I'm using here, it's a little wobbly, so the finest point I can get on there is actually about twice as big once you turn it on, just because it goes back and forth and everything. But these first little bit actually came out pretty good. You can see there just some smaller holes. I'll end up adding some design features in there, just little lines carved into the bone, just not all the way through, so you have a little better idea of that pattern, what that's supposed to look like. So decided on this back end, like I said earlier, we just didn't do all those designs just because it was a little hard with that Dremel wobbling back and forth.
Oh man, scared the crap out of me. This spider just jumped out of this skull right onto my hand. Who knows how long it's been in there. Whew, that got me going. Well, I guess a little update. We're just had to do a little less of a design on the back end of the skull, just because it's probably a little out of my skill set for now. All these little ones were kind of rough. So doing kind of these big ones, we'll see if we can clean up these edges right here, and then we'll kind of move over to this other side. So hopefully no more spiders try to get me here.
Yeah, honestly guys, that spider scared the heck out of me. Normally spiders don't make you jump too bad, but when they come flying out of something you're not expecting, land on your hand and jump off, it gets your heart pumping pretty good.
Alright, well, we got some final touches on there, some final lines. I think I ended up looking out okay. Not perfect. I added a couple finishing touches just around the edges so you can kind of see the pattern a little bit, and then rounded over these, so you can kind of see the different lines going through all the different things here. But it's not perfect, but I think it turned out pretty good, especially if you're looking at it from a little ways away. This skull, I actually just found it outside. It was been sitting for a while and was fairly clean. Obviously still need to soak it. We'll get it in some soapy water and soak that and then bleach it. So we'll leave it in the soapy water there for a couple weeks. We'll make a little video on that. Cleaning everything too, but yeah, there's the finished product. I think it turned out pretty okay, for the first one at least.
Here's a few up close pictures of it, just so you can see a little bit better how it turned out. It's definitely not perfect, but we're pretty happy how it ended. So like I mentioned, we'll add some videos on a little later of getting this skull whitened up and cleaned out, getting that soapy water and bleached up. So make sure to like and subscribe so you can follow along for that as well. Thanks for watching.